I first saw Alice in Chains live in 2013 during the Devil Put Dinosaurs Here tour. I hadn't checked who the opening act was, so when I got to the venue, I was surprised to see Chevelle as the opener. I was somewhat familiar with them, having heard their music on local radio. They put on a solid live performance, and I later learned that their biggest commercial success came with their second and third albums, which coincided with their original lineup. The early days of Chevelle. Chevelle's story begins in Grayslake, Illinois, with two brothers, Pete and Sam Loeffler, who started playing music together. Growing up in a conservative Catholic family of 7 children, they had no television but had access to record players. Their parents encouraged musical education, enrolling them in piano lessons. The brothers were also influenced by their older sisters, who frequently played bands like Journey and Huey Lewis and the News. Their sisters' boyfriends introduced them to rock legends like Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, and Jimi Hendrix. Pete recalled to MTV that he learned to play guitar by listening to Van Halen's Eruption. Over time, he gravitated toward grunge, citing Soundgarden's Badmotor Finger, particularly the song Jesus Christ Pose, as a major influence. Interestingly, MTV banned that song's video due to religious imagery, which Pete found rebellious against his strict upbringing. Meanwhile, Sam was more into punk and post-punk, with bands like Firehose and Black Flag being key influences. Forming the band, initially, Pete and Sam played with a bassist named Matt Scott. However, their younger brother Joe eventually picked up the bass and quickly outperformed Scott, leading to his inclusion in the band. With Pete and Sam being 4 to 5 years older than Joe, this age gap would later contribute to tensions within the group. Their father was a carpenter and car enthusiast, frequently taking them to car shows and drag races. His favorite car was a 70s Chevrolet Chevelle, which inspired the band's name. Sam recalled in an interview with the Oshkosh Western, "Some kids were into sports. We were into anything with wheels. The Chevelle was the epitome of muscle cars, and we thought it'd be a funny name. It stuck, and we've never been able to shake it." By the time Joe was 14, Chevelle had started performing at outdoor events, backyard barbecues, and local Chicago clubs like Metro and Double Door. At their first gig, Joe was so nervous that he hid his face under his hat, but he eventually grew more comfortable on stage. The band took any opportunity to perform, believing that constant exposure was the key to success. Signing with Squint Entertainment, Chevelle's early momentum caught the attention of Squint Entertainment, a subsidiary of the faith-based Word Entertainment. After signing a deal, the band's music was distributed to Christian stores, leading to the mistaken belief that they were a Christian rock band. The members later realized the label's religious background and informed them that they didn't want to be marketed that way. Despite assurances from Squint, the band found themselves doing interviews with Christian publications, which frustrated them. Pete later told Revolver that one of the biggest mistakes they made early in their career was not controlling their image. The band felt misled by the label, and Pete even recalled receiving a call from Disturbed frontman David Draymond, questioning why they had signed with such a company. Chevelle's debut album, Point Number 1, 1999, was placed in Christian music sections in record stores and even won multiple GMA Dove Awards, the Christian music equivalent of the Grammys. Pete clarified that while they weren't offended by these accolades, they never intended to be labeled as a Christian band. To produce their debut, they worked with Steve Albini, known for his work with Nirvana, Bush, and the Pixies. The album gained traction among college audiences and sold 100,000 copies. The self-titled track even reached number 40 on the mainstream rock charts. Despite their early success, the band faced significant business and personal struggles. Squint Entertainment shut down, but its parent company refused to let Chevelle out of their contract, resulting in a lengthy legal battle. This conflict nearly ended the band. Joe briefly quit and took a job delivering pizzas before rejoining 6 months later. Meanwhile, Pete and Sam returned to carpentry work to make ends meet. A record executive once told the band that they would have long, gray beards before they ever got to release a second album. However, after a drawn-out fight, they managed to escape their contract and signed with Epic Records, a subsidiary of Sony. Unfortunately, they still don't own the rights to Point Number 1 to this day. Sam revealed to the PRP that despite numerous attempts to buy back their debut album, the owner refuses to sell it or promote it. With legal troubles behind them, Chevelle returned in 2002 with Wonder What's Next, their breakthrough album. The title referenced the turmoil they had endured in the years prior. Produced by Garth Richardson, who had worked with Rage Against the Machine, the album's lyrics were deeply influenced by their past struggles. Sam admitted to the Ventura County Star that the record was fueled by bitterness and frustration over people doubting them. Some fans even regard Wonder What's Next as the band's true debut, as it better captured their intended sound. Pete explained that their first album didn't reflect their vision as much as the second one did. The album debuted at number 14 on the Billboard 200, selling 60,000 copies in its first week, a shocking success given the band's time away from the spotlight. Thanks to heavy airplay of the lead single The Red, the album continued selling nearly 20,000 copies per week. The Red became one of Chevelle's signature songs, peaking at number 3 on the mainstream rock chart and number 4 on the alternative airplay chart. Pete later revealed that the song was inspired by Sam's childhood temper, stating, when he was younger, he would just destroy things, even stuff he loved. He would get so angry, all he would see was red. Initially, their manager dismissed The Red as a weak song, but producer Garth Richardson saw potential and pushed the band to record it. The album's second single, Send the Pain Below, became an even bigger hit, topping both the alternative and mainstream rock charts and crossing over to the Billboard Hot 100, peaking at number 65. The song explored the theme of finding strength through pain and heartbreak. Pete explained to MTV, "The amazing thing about pain is that it's not always something to avoid. If you let it in, it can make you grow. You can use pain to create art." Interestingly, Send the Pain Below was incomplete when they entered the studio. Richardson told Pete that the bridge flat out sucked and needed to be rewritten. Under a tight deadline, Pete locked himself in a room, wrote a heavier version of the bridge, and the song was finalized. The third single, Closure, peaked at number 11 on alternative airplay and number 17 on the mainstream rock chart. Pete revealed that the song was about a relationship he ended himself. With Wonder What's Next, Chevelle had officially broken into the mainstream. But success came at a cost. Behind the scenes, tensions between the brothers were boiling over, leading to major conflicts, including one disturbing incident where Joe attacked Sam while he was sleeping. This should have been a red flag to cancel the tour, but the band pushed forward, believing they could work through their issues. Chevelle's early struggles, from label disputes to personal conflicts, only fueled their music, making them one of the most authentic and enduring hard rock bands of the 2000s. Their perseverance through bad record deals, internal band tensions, and industry struggles shaped their sound and success. What are your thoughts on Chevelle's rise to fame and their early hardships? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss future videos. Thanks for watching RockSpire, where we bring you the untold stories of rock legends. See you in the next one.